Mhm. Welcome in, everybody. Sorry about that. It took me a little bit here to get set up. Pardon me, I'm kind of waking up late today. Yeah. Little bit of a late start to things. Second. I'm gonna get some music booted up here. Hostile lands, parking, parts, come on in for 7 princes, hotel, flyers, venue, tower. All right, music. Where's the music? Shit, man, I still gotta get some coffee. Give me 1 sec on that. Yeah, let me get some coffee. Hang on, 1 moment. There we go. Coffee. Coffee. I'll be right back over there with you. Got a coffee. Get some work set up here at the desk. I believe I was working on some flash designs yesterday. So shit. We're getting some work done. Or at least gonna try to. Shit. I'll admit I kinda have a small window today. Sister should be back here in a little bit, to which I gotta help carry in groceries. But until then, let me see here. Hell yeah. Oh, yeah, it's another one of them cold and gray ones today. I'm staying hunkered down at the desk what I can. Shit. The thing is, like I said, we got some small stuff that might have came up in the way. That's okay. One second for me. Get out of my way. Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on, y'all. All right. Let's see here. She'll be pulling in here in a second. So I'll be doing carrying in groceries here in a little bit. Oh hell yeah, Ty. Shit, dude. See, little odds and ends shop down here, right? It's called Alley Cat Boutique. Right? I found this. I found some components on this jacket. I found a couple of things down there, man. Interesting place. Interesting place. And then I had some. Hang on a second. Hang on, just a second. I had this, which bought me out of nowhere, and I used it on both the hat and the coat. As you can see here, put it on the liner of my jacket. Hell yeah, yeah, man. A little bit of creative customization. Now, hang on, give me a second. Citrus here. I know I'm probably gonna miss the minute of 420, but I'll be back in just a little bit here. I'll smoke one then. Let me carry in some groceries and I'll be right back with y'all. Yeah, hang on, sit tight. Yeah, I know. Come on, puppy. Come on. Come on. No, puppy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Sorry, I had some work to do. But it's okay, I got all that shit done. Yeah, man. Sorry about that. Yeah. 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 Yep. Yeah. Thank you, John. Thank you. Will do. Yeah. There's no action wrapped up in the better in the light times. Sick of trying to hide it. Every time it takes mine. So stick to me, stick to me like caramel. Oh, walk beside me till you feel nothing as well. If it's doing good, it's good. Feeling lost, but I beg nobody. Not the phone, the dice is down on the side, the side, not the top, the top, it's starting now. Stick to me like caramel, falling free of the final parallel. Things are better when there's no future. Too young to get bitter over it all. Too old to retaliate like before. Too lost to be caught up, grateful I know. So I'll keep dancing along to the rhythm. The stage is a prison, a beautiful nightmare, a war and attrition. I'll take what I'm given, the deepest incisions. I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't. Oh, the final parallel. Things are better when there's no one left to go. I'll take what I'm given. If it's mistaken, I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't. Still, me, can't remember. Like y'all doing a little bit of research. And getting a little bit of prints done. Holy shit! Hoss brother, how the fuck you doing? Sorry about that. I was getting some shit done. Just came up a little bit ago. A state is a prison, a beautiful night, a war driven. I'll take what I'm given, the deepest sensation. I thought I got better, and maybe I didn't. Did you mean it? Ooh,
The 501st Clone Battalion did not start with famous Jedi generals on the battlefield during the Clone Wars. They were grown on Camino and raised for the singular purpose of war. Under strict conditions, constant rain and sterile white lighting, the young cadets drill, study, condition themselves, and do it all again, day in and day out, as they age at twice the speed of a normal human. The cloning process and their conditions made them obedient. They had some free will and ability to think. They weren't droids after all, but as we all know, good soldiers follow orders. This transmission will cover the 501st in universe in their entirety. Starting with the rough training on Camino I already alluded to, seeing them form into a battalion, their time of spectacular service under Jedi General Anakin Skywalker, hero of the Clone Wars, their reformation into the 501st Legion, and their time of serving the same but very different man in Darth Vader. To grow, train, and forge an army out of some DNA sequencing takes time, technology, and discipline. We all remember the astonishing reveal of the white-clad clone troopers marching in perfect, stunning formation. That's the bird's eye view. Embedding ourselves with the recruits gives us a more honest look, one that shows things weren't always so smooth. A handful of cadets who couldn't quite conform the way their instructors wanted them to were treated like glitchy droids. The out of droid bait 5s and Echo were all singled out for their inability to function as a tight unit, Domino Squad. Their instructors went so far as to consider if these troopers were even worth keeping around. Each of the men individually was a skilled soldier. They excelled in their own ways, but individual talent meant nothing to the Grand Army of the Republic if the squad broke down in the heat of battle. These men were not droids, and the Republic, for all of its fault in the era of the Clone Wars, was not a villainous organization. The men were given some slack, and eventually their first real assignment. This was not a glorious division, taking on the Separatists with the Jedi at their side. It was an isolated listening with little to no support. This assignment was their trial by fire. The expectation was that the unit would either learn they would die fighting apart. These men would learn to use arms for their shared DNA. They would go on to join the soon-to-be infamous 501st Clone Battalion. While we are covering the 501st as a group, I want to tie up Domino Squad's story. Unfortunately, it's a sad ending, which is common in war. Only one of these men lives to see the
There's some Star Wars in the background too.
To survive the Rishi outpost. They earned the title of Arc Trooper. 5 learns about the inhibitor chip that would make Order 66 possible quickly, but is killed by his own commander before he can spread the word. Zuko is presumed dead for a long time, but is later rescued, having been mutilated and transformed into a cyborg by the Separatists. But that's a story for another transmission. If you're thinking about out of any of my transmissions, it would mean a lot if you would join the remnant and subscribe. When we're properly introducing the 501st, it's a tight-knit unit led by Captain Rex. Rex is known for strength and character and unwavering loyalty, traits that also apply to the battalion that he leads. Rex is an exceptional clone, not in his DNA like a member of the Bad Batch, but in his skill and resolve. Because he was one of, if not the best, clone trooper in the Army, he's promoted to a battlefield leader. Most of the clones, if they live long enough, take on their individual traits, nicknames, and unique personalities. The 501st ends up being known for taking the mass-produced troopers and producing individuals, largely because of their leadership. The 501st achieves its fame for what they do and who they become, and all of those accomplishments are made possible through Anakin Skywalker. Skywalker is a newly christened Jedi Knight and relatively young to be commanding a battalion. He's a powerful and skilled Jedi and a fantastic general. He never asks his troops to do something that he would not do himself, and he never thinks of their lives as expendable or replaceable. He can be seen as too lax or even reckless, but the results speak for themselves. Skywalker is a man of action. Sitting and planning is not his speed. He takes action over caution, aggression over procedure, and is quick to adapt when the situation inevitably calls for it. He's on the front lines with his men, and more often than not, is running ahead of them or doing something near impossible alone to keep them out of harm's way the best he can. The battalion's continued success means more missions and more danger. Skywalker's unorthodox leadership style breeds loyalty. You can see why this environment would encourage free thought, expression, and individuality. Taking Fives as an example of the double-edged sword of belonging to the famous battalion, we can see things from Anakin's perspective. His time with the battalion puts him on the front lines of major battles and events of the Clone Wars. He survives, but the trauma piles up and follows him. He fought in the bloody Rishi battle station campaign. He and his brothers were portrayed by Pom Krell, a Jedi general who lost faith in the Republic and had clones killing clones. He was even part of covering up the inhibitor chip conspiracy that would eventually make Order 66 possible. Fives is an individual, but a prime example that these clones are unique and not replaceable like battle droids stepping off assembly lines. Toward the end of the Clone Wars, it looks like the Republic is narrowing in on the leader of the droid army, General Grievous, as well as ex-Jedi Separatist leader, Count Dooku. At the same time, an old nemesis, Maul, has taken control of the Mandalore system. Ahsoka Tano returns. She was the Jedi Padawan of Anakin Skywalker who had walked away from the Order previously. She and the men of the 501st were close, and they all respect her just as much as they do Skywalker. On her return, she was given a contingent of the 501st to liberate Mandalore, while Skywalker takes the rest of them to continue the fight against the Separatists. A show of loyalty, respect, love, and individuality, the part of the 501st that follows Ahsoka customized their helmets to resemble the two Garuta markings of Ahsoka, Garuta being her species. When she questions why the clones still salute her and call her commander, despite her not belonging to the Jedi Order, Anakin explains their feelings perfectly. Inspiring new holiday tradition of giving artisanal buns and rolls to your next holiday. Why Formula 44 for this? It's top silencer. Its scientists refine the formula 44 times to attack your crop the source, providing powerful copper heat for up to 8 hours. Formula 44 from Fitz. Top silencer. With the 2026 calendar. Powerful road capital. Number one in the field of quality. They know he went through for them, day after day, battle after battle. Loyalty means everything to the clones. It's a moving moment that speaks volumes to their character. The Republic uses an army of organic beings that fight alongside the Jedi who protect life and life. The clones being human is symbolic. The individual personalities they take on grow this point. It's also important for the specificity that the clones do honor loyalty above all else. But loyalty does not necessarily have to mean the system. Order 66 is generally pegged as a Jedi tragedy. Obviously, that is true. But it's also a tragedy for the clone or forced to carry it out. On top of the tragic element, it's a crucial marker in galactic history. When Order 66 is executed, the inhibitor chips in the clones' brains literally force them to comply. While I'm sure there were other clones who were friendly with their Jedi leaders, the relationship between the 501st, Skywalker, and Tano is unique in their closeness, but also for us as we've spent the most time observing it. That makes things very personal. By the time the order is called, Anakin has been reborn as Darth Vader and leads his faithful men on a very different type of mission. Vader, the part of the 501st that had been with him when they were still fighting for the Republic, storm the Jedi Temple and execute anyone in their path. The 501st continues to be historically significant, and it's crucial in the end of the Republic and birth of the Empire. Captain Rex was aboard a starship with Ahsoka when Order 66 was declared. Despite the tremendous show of loyalty he and his men showed, the inhibitor chips override his personal feelings, and they all turn on the ex-Jedi. Ahsoka is able to subdue Rex and remove his inhibitor chip, freeing his mind. It's also a great example that the loyalty between clones and Jedi goes both ways, at least in the case of Ahsoka. With the Jedi Order all but eliminated and the Galactic Empire, some others are figured
Thank you.
in one way or another. Some clones
I was gonna speak
these
after the stuff like that.
clones go underground and any clone not carrying out the order is seen as an enemy and needs to be put down. Rex creates something of an underground
Okay, thank you. Okay.
To serve their purpose, the clones remaining loyal are looked down upon. The Empire soon begins to have a conscription military that's cheaper to produce, and the clones are being discarded. The 501st Clone Battalion takes on a new form as the 501st. This is in large part thanks to Darth Vader, which is why they earn the nickname Vader's Fist. Soon after being introduced to the galaxy at large in the black-clad armor, Vader puts together a contingent of clones who once served under him as Anakin Skywalker.
What's up, Bong?
Were present with him during the Jedi Purge. Some of these clones.
Oh shit! I'm just chilling.
I know.
Oh.
I'm just getting ready to head back out to work. I seen you last, so I thought I'd come up and say hi real quick and show you some love.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Oh.
How you feeling today, bro?
I'm just having a fun time waking up. Yeah, feeling the fog of it.
That's always fun.
Right?
Yeah, not really, but it is, you know. We got to do it, I guess.
Fucking amen to it.
What are you working on today, Bong?
No idea. I started to get to my papers, and it seemed like every 5 seconds I had to jump up and do something, so.
Yeah, well, don't be so busy all the time then.
Yeah. Yeah. Ain't that the fucking truth?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just we done the papers.
Nice. All right, well, I'm gonna let you get back to it, Bongs. Just like I said, I just seen you were live. I was getting ready to walk out the door and go back to work, so I just thought I'd jump on and say hi real quick, show some love, show some support, hit that like and subscribe, or that like and share button anyway.
Hell yeah! Oh, thank you, brother.
Absolutely, Bongs. You know I got you, bro. Anytime I can catch you live, I'm gonna come in and say hi.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Bongs. You be good, brother.
You stay good, GTK brother. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Bongs. Later, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Thanks for coming up, GTK. Once again, man, sorry I'm not too with it right now. Matter of fact, give me just a minute, because I gotta go see if the cat needs food. Hang on a sec. Every time it takes mine, so stick to me like walk beside me till you feel nothing as well. Falling free out of the final parallel. Yes, we are better when there's no one left to go. Too young to get better over it all. Too old to retaliate like before. Too lost to be caught ungrateful, I know. So I'll keep dancing along to the rhythm. The stage is a prison, a beautiful nightmare, a war and attrition. I'll take what I'm given, the deepest decision. I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't. So stick to me like that, remember. Oh, walk beside me till you feel nothing as well. Falling free of the final parallel. Their dreams are better when there's no one left to tell. Too young to be changed, too young to be changed. Too blessed to be taught, ungrateful, I know. So I'll keep dancing along to the rhythm. The stage is a prison, a beautiful nightmare, a war and attrition. I'll take what I'm given, the deepest decisions. I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't. So stick to me, I remember. So walk beside me till you feel nothing as well. Falling free of the final parallel. Little dreams are better when there's no one left to tell. Too young to be funny, too young to be funny, too young to be funny, too young to be funny. Too blessed to be taught, ungrateful, I know. So I'll be dancing along to the rhythm. The stage is a prison, a beautiful nightmare, a war and attrition. Take what I'm given. Fuck yeah, man. Who the fuck is here? Hang on a minute. Alrighty. Got that taken care of? Oh, shit. Now, some food.
Most important event on the Star Wars timeline. The turning point which saw the Jedi Order in the Galactic Republic fall, with Darth Sidious' Galactic Empire rising to its place. The clone troopers were forced to execute the Jedi leadership they had fought with for years. In canon, this was because of the hero ships implanted. Strength, legend, they will fly. But there are a small handful of quotes who were able to resist legends, they willingly fly. But there are a small handful of clones who were able to resist or refuse this protocol. Today, we're taking an updated look at every single clone trooper who disobeyed Order 66. 5 didn't technically live to disobey Order 66, but it's the reason that many of the clones were able to, having uncovered the Order long before this. As a member of Domino Squad, 5 placed the 503 proving himself to be a loyal soldier. The Turn 25 journey came during the Battle of Jeddah when his comrade Pop killed Jedi General Hitler in what appears to be a random act of violence. Investigated incident, 5's uncovered a ship, a mysterious implant embedded in the brains of all clones. His search for answers led where he discovered the ship's true purpose to ensure clone compliance with Order 6. The secret directive is to exterminate the Jedi. 5 tried desperately to accomplish that. No. However, Palpatine manipulated the situation, branded 5's traitor, and turned the Republic against 5's fled, seeking help with Sith, Captain Rex, and Skywalker, but his efforts were cut short when he was cornered and killed by Commander Fox of the Coruscant Guard. Though 5's never lived to the end of the Order, his actions planted seeds of doubt among those who knew him. His warning, though unheeded at the time, highlighted the cracks in the Empire's plan and inspired future efforts to resist Order 66. Captain Rex faced one of the greatest tests of his character during Order 66. As a decorated leader, Rex had earned the respect of his fellow clones and the Jedi who served upon his side. But when the Red Command was issued, his world was turned upside down. When Palpatine activated Order 66, Rex's inhibitor chip forced him to turn on Ahsoka Tano, his ally and friend. Despite the chip's programming, Rex briefly resisted its directive, just long enough to warn Ahsoka to fight 5 before succumbing to its control. We've never seen another clone resist the chip's win, which just proves how special of a trooper Rex was. Ahsoka listened to her friend and Rex. After learning of what had occurred with 5, she removed Rex's chip and freed him from the Empire's control. Rex joined Ahsoka in defeating the rest of the clones aboard the Star Destroyer, narrowly surviving the crash of the ship after a brutal battle with her former father. Following the events of Order 66, Rex went into hiding. He eventually reunited with other clone resistors, forming a small band of survivors who sought to live free of the Empire's reach and arrest other clones. Later, Rex became a key ally of the Rebel Alliance, fighting alongside the crew of Ghost as an important member of the Spectre Rebel cell during the events of Star Wars 7. The 12-9, better known as the Bad Batch, were a squad of genetically clones who stood apart from the rest of the Grand Army Republic. Each member of the squad had unique mutations that gave them exceptional skills. Hunters had senses, wreckers, strength, intelligence, crossers, sharpshooters, and later echoes cyber ability. But their genetic differences didn't just make them effective soldiers. They also made them resistant to the effects of the inhibitor chips. When Palpatine activated the Bad Batch were safe from Polar, witnessing Commander Gray and turn on Jedi General Jakapalaba and her Padawan. Most of the squad questioned the directive, feeling uneasy about executing the Jedi without execution. However, Crosshair's chips remained active enough to influence, causing him to clash with the rest of the squad. This division led Crosshair to align with the Empire, while the rest of the Bad Batch defected and removed their chips with the help of Captain Rex. Crosshair would later remove and join the squad. Commander Wolf and Captain Gregor, two veteran clone troopers, found themselves united in the aftermath of clone, choosing to abandon the Empire and forge a new path alongside Captain Rex. Wolf, leader of the Royal Force Battalion, Wolfpack, had served under Jedi General Clone 2, but was not within the vicinity when Now, we note he initially joined the Empire to encounter Rex, which we can only assume led to his decision. Sure. Meanwhile, Riker, the Commando, was presumed dead during the war after a heroic stand on Aberfront, but he survived and was assigned to help train the Empire's first phenomenal soldier, the TATOO. Riker quickly realized he wanted out, and Rex sent the Bad Batch to retreat, seeking to escape their dark past together. Wolf and Riker joined Rex in fighting under remote silos, where they lived aboard a modified Walker and later joined the rebellion. Outlook Twain was a unique figure among the clones, a deserter who chose to carve out a peaceful life for himself. Early in the Clone Wars, Hutt abandoned his post after his transport was shot down, with the rest of his men killed. Disillusioned with the constant death and destruction, he sought refuge on the remote planet of Salutama. There, Hutt found his sense of purpose and belonging. He married a two-legged woman named Sue and became the stepfather to his children, raising them on a wonderful bond. When Order 66 issued, Hutt was far removed from the events that unfolded across the galaxy. Though he likely had an ship, he was never issued the order. Instead, Hutt focused on the Empire, maintaining his quiet business. Hutt's decision to abandon the war, build a new life, made him one of the few clones to reject not only Order 66, but the very purpose for which he did it. Hicks, a medic in the 501st Legion, was the distinction of being the only clone trooper to completely miss the rise of the Empire. Subways and stuff, but now it is going to be 1 foot long free, 4 foot long free. It's like good deal later. 4 foot long free.
The fabric sale for insane. Folks are freaking out over 4 foot long.
This is the 2026 chapter. It's a little powerful. Number one is the wow.
See. I think we use this. Let me see what that movie is.
Unlike other clones who resisted Order 66 at the moment, Hicks discovered the conspiracy behind it, but was unable to stop it or even witness its execution. After a conversation with Five prior to his death, Dick stumbled upon the secret of the ships. Determined to warn the Jedi, he attempted to share what he had learned, but Count Dooku intercepted his efforts. Captured by the Separatists, Dooku ordered Hicks to be placed in stasis aboard a transport ship bound to Sereno. However, the ship never completed its journey. Under attack by Republic forces, its droid crew made a random jump to light speed and crashed the ship on a desert world, where Hicks remained in suspended animation for decades. Hicks was eventually discovered by a pirate crew called the Crimson Corsair, years after the fall of the Empire. Awakened to a galaxy he barely recognized, Hicks learned of the Jedi Purge, the rise and fall of the Empire, and the destruction wrought by the very order he had tried to defend. Well, Captain Gray initially complied with Order 66 and killed Jedi Master Lava, shown the Bad Batch. He later disobeyed as well. This happened in the Kanan comic series, which is canon. In that story, Commander Gray and another clone, Captain Styles, continued to pursue Kanan Doom. Eventually captured, the young Jedi begged for his life, reminding the clones how much they used to look up to Master Lava, and suggested to them that it was Palpatine, not the Jedi, who had betrayed the Republic. Doom pushed the clones and escaped the ship, leaving Gray to begin having doubts about following Order 66. He brought his concerns up with Styles, who disagreed, seeing the Jedi only as traitors. Gray decided to shoot their own ship's controls with his blaster rifle, crippling the freighter and ensuring their own deaths in an act of self-sacrifice that allowed Leader of Doom to escape. Abel, also known by the designation CT-1707, was a clone trooper who fought for the Galactic Republic under the command of Jedi General Shotgun. Abel was left stranded on the planet Eubank Minor when his gunship was shot.
Molly. Hey. Holy shit, dude.
Abel revealed himself to the stormtroopers, believing that they were clone troopers wearing a uniform armor, but he was fired upon. He then met Luke Skywalker, who introduced himself as a Jedi General, which was announced to Abel to join the Rebel Alliance. After helping the rebels escape the planet, the clone trooper joined the Alliance's intelligence branch. In the months that followed, Abel helped the Alliance during numerous missions, but was killed when he was transformed into a monster by the Rocket Sled. Pod 147 was a starfighter pilot who appeared in Star Wars Clone Wars Defense. In the B-19, starfighter was heavily hit in battle. Unconscious but alive. This report since the rise of the Empire. Eventually, Pod 147 was discovered by salvage. Pod 147 laid the overseas into Jedi from the south oil, but struggled to as more complicated. Pod Jedi. At first, he could however, he finished his instructions that I got to stop all. Forced to confront programming with oil. When Imperial slowly boarded oil, yes, effect. All the according to I was live. There was nothing. That they discovered part of the fight of order. Star of novels, Omega Squad had strong ties to orange. This instructors unnecessary person product was what was preserving Mandalorian culture and loyalty to the Empire. The squad's demolitions expert, Darman, was even in a romantic relationship with Jedi General Han. Due to Scarada's influence and support for Darman, Omega Squad refused to follow Order 6. Another clone group, Chaos Squad, had a
Yeah. Yep.
Han, the leader of Chaos Squad, was in love with God. Both of these squads revealed the joint house to live out the rest of their lives on the Mandarin's homeworld, willing to disobey their most important directive to support their The null class ARC troopers were among the first generation clones created by the Nodes, designed as experiment prototypes for the elite advanced commando. However, the node would be unstable due to their extreme independence and unpredictable behavior. Six survived termination thanks to the intervention of their Mandalorian trainer, House Karada, who saw potential in them and personally took responsibility for their upbringing. The Nulls were fiercely loyal to Karada, considering him their adopted father. The Nulls also developed strong personalities and a sense of individual identity. When Order 66 issued, the Null Arcs rejected it. Right. Their loyalty was to Karada and their brothers, not the Republic or Palpatine. Instead, they hid out on Mandalore and set out to find a cure for the clone's accelerated aging. The Alpha class ARC troopers were among the deadliest clones in the Republic Army. They were trained personally by Jacob Fett and lacked the mental modifications other clone troopers had received. Their free-thinking nature meant many Alpha clone troopers refused to follow Order 6. One such ARC trooper, Maze, took an interest in galactic politics and formed his own opinions on the galaxy as a whole. With a fondness for the Jedi Knights, he refused to support a fascist regime or participate in Order 6 and fled to Mandalore and met up with the Spiratus. The bravery of these clones who managed to resist and disobey Order 6 reminds us that even in the darkest times, courage, spirituality, shine through.
Chevy is more than just a name of trust. It's everything we want and more than you expect, all at an incredible value. And Chevrolet, together, let's go. In the playoffs, we need to find that extra. Betting is live. The mode is electric. Playoff. I'm thinking. Boosts and rewards all first season long.
The 501st is the most infamous launch first in the entire franchise, of which led to battle by Jedi General Skywalker and Commander Soprano. They saw some of the harshest battles of Clone Wars and embraced both their unity and morality more than any other known clone. Well, you may be familiar with Rex or 5. I know there are probably some lesser known members of featuring deeper not about or other duo. And that's why today we're going over them all. 50 minutes. This is every single Bible for the clone trooper explained. Captain Rex. As the captain of the Bible first, Rex served as second in command to Jedi General Skywalker. His regular and his love for unconventional battle tactics. He also took share for war. He also became close with Padawan as Autumn. Throughout his career, Rex proved to be an effective leader who truly cared for the men under his command, leading the boys in many battles in Stoxis, Geonosis, Camino, Mara, and Mandalore, among many others. The death of R5 led Rex to discover the clone ships, which helped Ahsoka to reach the and allowed the both 5 and state orders 6. Rex joined himself, reuniting Inferno and reaching the rank of commander, even fighting in the Battle of Endor via the Return of the Jedi. Rex was originally going to be the same character as the Legends ARC Trooper named Alpha 17, but George Lucas didn't want too many of the main characters for Wars to have similar sound names. With Anakin, Ahsoka, and to a lesser extent, ARC. Therefore, Rex was created Commander Appo. Taking charge of the 500th Legion once Captain Rex took off the Mandalore with the 337th Company, Commander Appo once served as a sergeant and had an airline helmet, a tribute to the character Papa from Avatar the Last Airbender, which Dave Filoni worked on by Clone Wars. In Revenge of the Sith, Papa wears standard basic armor as he leads the Bible first to sack the Jedi Temple. He's the clone who delivers the line before being cut down by a Jedi Padawan. Avo actually survived this and continued to serve under Darth Vader during the reign of the Galactic Empire, but was later killed by a surviving Jedi Master, Commander Bo. Serving in the Empire's 501st Legion under Darth Vader, Commander Bo was part of the 501st Squad that clone Commander Avo to the castle. There, Bo and his fellow troopers rescued Vader from a group of Jedi Knights, shut them down. He continued to serve the 501st after Avo's death and was likely a success with Commander Bill. Another served in the Imperial fiction of the 501st was Commander Bill. About a month after Order 6, the Imperial subjugation of Window perceived that a slow pace was difficult. Hence, Commander Bill led a stormtrooper regiment of the 501st Legion and forced to bring the planet under Imperial control by annihilating the rebels were largely all members of the Separatist Alliance. The battle was a massive defeat. Those who surrendered at the battle were executed. Bill reported on the victory through veterans to Darth Vader. Sometime later, during the battle of Phantom, Bill provided a casualty report to the Sith Lord. Vader then took the opportunity to ask Bill if the clones were indoctrinated with teachings he supported to kill him. One similar in manner to Order 6. In order that they carry out without question became unhelpful. Bill's hesitation to answer the question confirmed the suspicion. He then forced the commander of Flint to ensure that his inquiry did not reach the Emperor. Commander Baka, another to have served in this, Commander Baka accompanied the Sith Lord on a mission to rescue the son of Marcus. Ultimately, Darth Vader was the only one to have survived the assignment. Bond. Fighting under Rex and Ahsoka Tano during the siege of Mandalore, Bond immediately took place as captain after his forthwith promotion to commander. After being lured into an ambush, Bond's clone troopers were killed, and the captain soon succumbed to the same fate. Ahsoka Tano arrived at the scene and witnessed the captain's final moments. Arc Trooper 5's Echo. It's hard to talk about separately, so we'll do them both at the same time. Echo and Fives worked through a many clone troopers to be promoted to the rank of Archtroopers, rather than intentionally fed to that role, as the army was spread thinner throughout the war. This story began as X and the Domino Squad who struggled during their final combat test, but eventually managed to defeat it. It was there that Echo and Fives were given with as his brothers. Echo's was because he had a tendency to repeat before Echo orders as they went down. And Fives because of his high definition number, 2-5. After Domino Squad's graduation, they were stationed on the Lucian outpost, the strategic point on Dino. There, the other members of Domino Squad perished to be cut up, destroyed big and heavy, when droids attacked in an attempt to escape invasion, but luckily after that same. Cody had also arrived for inspection, helping the rookies to destroy the station and the public. After impressing the officers and Echo 5, members of the 501st Legion, fighting in the defense of and impressing Rex and Cody once more, Echo and 5 were promoted to Archtroopers. Wearing their new armor, the two soldiers joined the task force sent to rescue Jedi Master Ed Steele from the separatist prison known as the Citadel. Unfortunately, while escaping, Echo noticed that Commander Roy targeted the shuttle with a lit turret. He advanced in both security ship and their state.
It's not a grilled cheese. About a slice of melted goodness. Wrapped in most every single pound.
Oh, you've been on your phone all day. What did you do?
This is the best side hustle of 2025. If you can make real money off free for the
Well, she is an athlete, predict the outcome of real events like who wins a game or what the weather will be, and make money if you're right. So you're telling me I can make picks on stuff like the football champ? Yes, exactly. And it's fully legal too. Dude, I'm gonna make so much money.
It's definitely the easiest and fun way to make snacks for that, but you're not guessing. You're mixing what you already know. Download Power Speed, you will see what I
Taxes. Or single tax.
got.
but was unfortunately blown up with the ship in a vast explosion that led Fives and his other comrades to the beach. Fives continued service fighting with others until the Battle of Tara. Well on a mission to rid the thing off, he saw the most activated service. This led him to uncover ships, but when attempting to review it, he stopped reaching Rex. Fives was shot by the capture and died during the fire. Unbeknownst to everyone, Echo survived the explosion at the Citadel, but was greatly injured. The prisoner by forces kept alive this time of medic. He was later rescued by a Rex. Echo offered 1.9. I like it was better with the power flow. Echo and the Bad Batch would separate costs. This conveyed Order 66 and deserted the Empire to become mercenary. After rescuing Hunter from just before its destruction, Echo and the Bad Batch were dead by the Empire. Echo left the Bad Batch and decided to join Rex to help discard the blows, notably through hijacking Imperial ships and prisoners. Arc Trooper Jesse, another 503rd clone to be promoted to Arc Trooper. Jesse was easily recognizable by the large Republic crest on his helmet and tattoos on his forehead. Jesse fought under Rex in various campaigns, including Salute and Navarra, where he, Fives, Arcase, disobeyed the orders of the soon-to-be-discovered traitor, General Rel. It's likely this act that earned him the promotion to Arc Trooper, probably thanks to a recommendation from Rex. As an Arc Trooper, Jesse fought in the Battle of the Axis and later served with the Soprano in his 302nd during the Secret Mandalore. It was at the conclusion of this battle when Order 6 was issued. Well, Ahsoka helped Rex for the new busy ship and day. Jesse took command of the clones and kept to kill them both. Despite this effort to comply with the orders ingrained into his mind, Ahsoka and Rex survived. Well, Jesse and the 337 perished when their veteran class started. Rex, Tano, and Rex buried Jesse alongside and used their helmets as great markers. Performing escort, drop-off, and extraction duties for the ground forces of the 501st, Lone Pilot Hawk flew several ships like the LA Gunship and the C-95 Headhunter during the battle. Toxis had Barra and Scipio, and ace in the cockpit. Hawk was named for his highly precise top flight eye. Hardcase. According to Hardcase itself, this broke acceleration chamber on at the peak of it, which results in the trooper developing a hyper attitude. He served in the Bible in multiple early meetings, or even at Superman, Bangalore, the Sea, and Inban, and favored the heavy D6 rotary flag. And during the dreaded battle with Barra, Hardcase, Jesse, and Fives disobeyed the orders of General Montreal in an attempt to destroy the Ford supply ship itself. The three clones to space battle aboard the starfighters when their rogue operation was looking at failed. Hardcase got out of the starfighter full of the ship itself, saying it was the only way. Hardcase used one of the wing-mounted pistol pods on the ship, triggering massive explosion, sacrificing life to destroy the supply ship. Huff, joining the 501st as a rookie during the battle with Barra, Huff had a spear tattoo on his cheek and had used Jackson mark on his helmet. He was close with Fives on Barra and played an instrumental role in the capture of the rogue Jedi Montreal. Huff continued his service in the 501st at the Battle of Linda. However, during the campaign, this particular ship malfunctioned, causing him to execute contingency order 66 prematurely, killing Jedi General Hitler. He was taken into custody and shipped back to the Lone Wolf. At Tacoma City, Huff believed he was suffering from a virus he contracted at Linda. The Kaminoans attempted to terminate Huff to ensure the biochips were secret, but Fives was able to remove it and but Huff sadly passed away in the process. Tips. From Reddit, Hicks notably ended the Rex when he was shot by a sniper on Sleuthomar. He also participated in the battle of Mara, the Nazis, and Springfield Index. After 5 and of deaths, Clone Wars, Hicks investigated the ships and the birth of Orbis 6. Count Dooku put at risk the Jedi discovering the Sith plan, so he ordered the troops to capture. Hicks was captured and frozen in a cryocycle state pod on a separate cruiser, where he would remain until the ship arrived. Ran out. As the cruiser took off, he was ambushed by a Republic force. A battle droid determined the ship was in no state to go. Ran out and under strict orders not to allow Hicks to go back to her hands, jumped to hyperspace to a random section of the galaxy. The ship would crash on the planet with good power cells drained. Hicks suspended in a space pod until he was discovered by a pirates 30 years after the battle of Endor. Shot at the fingers of the public, Hicks eventually joined the pirate gang known as the Christian Forces. Denal, the first featured 501st Trooper in Clone Wars to have boots, armor, aside from that force, was Denal. He fought in early conflicts like the Battle of Pinban and the rescue of a at space. At the Battle of Devron, Denal was killed by the bounty hunter Mac Bane, who stole his armor as a disguise to escape right under Anakin and his noses, stealing a P-19 starfighter. Dogma, an absolutely obedient soldier who would accept any order without question. Dogma was easy for Conqueror to manipulate during the Battle of Mara, being the only one to seem willing to kill his fellow by yes. When Conqueror revealed his betrayal, Dogma was called the big of all by Krell because of his blind loyalty. As a result of his betrayal, he shot and killed his former general when Krell loaded and Rex's education to build himself. Dogma slicked his hair back and sported a T-shaped tattoo across his left eye, which was also painted on his helmet. That's revealed in the Dawn of the Rebellion guidebook. The hopeless clone trooper from the series was next. He was once a member of the 501st Legion, participating in some of the earliest battles of Clone Wars, including F and stuff. That's even fought in the Battle of Mara during the carnage of the fallen Jedi on Krell. Unfortunately for the clone, Max was released from the front lines after suffering from extensive injuries. Pieces of shrapnel still in his legs by the time so after being discharged, Max fell on hard times and was left to bed for a meal on his side. Foreign company survived. Foreign company was a massive group of 144 clone troopers in the first during the early days of Clone Wars. They fought in the Battle of Sauces and CANT, where all but 6 members of the unit were killed when facing an overwhelmingly large separate force. Aside from Vex, Max, who we've already mentioned, the only of the survivors were Addie, Yall, Here, and the medic Forest. Fox. No, not that clone commander from before the start. Fox was deployed to Operation Nightfall and was with Commander Appo when he talked to Ben Organa. Fox was actually the clone who fatally shot the Jedi Padawan after Appo was assassinated. Mixer and Red Eye, joining a Republic escort team assigned to protect the Mandalorian Duchess freeze before dawn. Mixer and Red Eye patrolled the vessel's cargo hold. Both clones were killed by an assassin droid as part of Senator Calamari's failed plot to kill Freeze. Charger. The clone trooper is perhaps the most ironic name. Charger was a member of the T-Center Citadel, where he was killed when he fell down a cliff and was charged by an electromine. Boomer. A clone armed trooper trained to specialize in survival reconnaissance. Boomer appeared in the Clone Wars Republic Heroes video game. Boomer was a tough veteran soldier with a tendency to make jokes and was said to be one of Rex's most trusted soldiers. He appears in a mission where the player goes up against Thanos. Another clone from Republic Heroes, Thanos participated in the cleanup actions after the Battle of Ryloth, confronting the remaining droids left on the planet after the Separatists. But that does it for every main title for clone tree. Which one is your favorite? Which one topic should be covered? Let me know in the comments. Come join us to chat more and this was a description. If you enjoyed today's Star Wars video, we've got more on the screen for you right now. Also, make sure to drop a like, the channel, and subscribe. That's fun. Until next time, thanks for watching, and bye. Bye. Just the typical Dr. Grind, building of the characters, but also with a lot of the activity systems, a lot of fan service. One of the big things is that protagonist is actually going to play an important role, as he's going to have the ability to transform into a dragon that has many abilities that you're going to be able to use to help out your waifu when it comes to combat. On launch of the game, it does come out, you'll be getting 30,000 gems of currency plus 1,000 gold. And we kind of take the equation of how much that actually going to get you into the movies. It's going to be 50 polls or less. You're going to do that. So acquire one of the premium characters that have out. So 1K poll is going to give you a lot of characters to do. Most of the British Army of the Republic, but just make up the army, dare I say, ever. For as many individual forms are, there seems to be just as many different variations and classes, which fulfill various roles for which they are. Numerous different divisions, specialties, made up the Red Army of the Republic, with new iterations being added all the time. Today we'll be going over every single thing, class, variant, and type itself. Now, before we get started, I must mention today's video will focus strictly on the Republic's stormtroopers, those who served strictly during the reign of the Galactic Empire, such as the first troopers. This is safe for a video representing on every stormtrooper variant in the future. Let us know in the comments if you're excited for that, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. We begin with the standard stormtroopers, the most common variant, which made up the backbone of the army. Stormtroopers were grown on the planet. At the request of Jedi Masters and Council members such as Diaz, foresaw the coming conflict, though the rest of the Jedi Council disagreed and thus did not. That the project was taken over by the Sith. Clones were modeled on a human template. The Mandalorian bounty hunters did instead, although their genetic structure was modified to make them less independent and more docile than bounty hunters. They were also designed to move at twice the rate of natural humans, accelerating their growth and making them ready for combat in a dead time. Stormtroopers were trained, as clone cadets until ready for the front lines. As the Separatist crisis grew, war, the Galactic Senate empowered Chancellor Palpatine to call the troopers into action, leading to their debut in the battle of Osis. For 3 years, clones fought the Separatist droids on all fronts across the galaxy. They were loyal to their Jedi generals and disciplined Chancellor, those having clones questioned their service. Still most was sad to the Republic, as it was the only life they had ever known. Galactic history was forever changed by its behavioral modification biochip implanted in every clone, which was part of the Sith's plot for the Jedi during Order 66. Arc troopers or advanced recon forces, sometimes referred to as R2 drivers or scout troopers, were clone troopers who wore lighter armor, stealth, and speed, and often rode R2's battle. They were more intelligent and better trained in survival skills in comparison to other clones. Arc troopers wore phase 1 arc armor, but eventually end up in body armor. Arc troopers typically carried out short-range reconnaissance for Jedi generals and clone commanders. Arc troopers or advanced recon commandos were one of the most potent variants of clone troopers, widely regarded as the best of the PIR. They wore specialized experimental armor, being equipped with more components and often carried out the most dangerous of assignments. The cannon, the rank of arc shooters, still define drones who serve the distinction on the battlefield, such as Spies, Echo, and Jesse, whereas in Legends, Django Fett and his mandatory military advisors advocated for the creation of drones capable of handling covert missions to delegate units. This led to the Kaminoans using Fett's DNA and removing behavioral modifications based in L-class, Alpha-class arc troopers. Alpha-class arc troopers would even go on to train many of our favorite clone commanders like Rex and Cody during their training program. Clone commandos are right up there with arc troopers in terms of their status. Clone commandos to serve in squads 4, with Delta Squad being the most well-known. Clone commando was trained to handle a specialized task, varying from commando to commando. For example, status with marksmanship or Scorch with demolition explosives. Clone commandos were assigned to carry out special operations that the average clone trooper could handle. These missions include covert infiltration, sabotage, demolition, and assassination, most of which taking place behind enemy lines, making their smaller specialized squads more ideal. Clone advisors worked in tandem with clone commandos. Their duty was to inform the squad about their mission, status, and objectives. Because of the secrecy surrounding these individuals, knowledge is scarce as to their official role as support personnel. It may be simply a position that's filled by a qualified trooper as the need arose. Both assault troopers are the first of many classes designed for use in a particular environment. Lone cold assault troopers specially trained for battle and survival in extremely cold regions. Their specialized armor was specifically designed for protection to wearer in extremely low temperatures and to allow for effective operations within hunger environments like the planet Plutonium. Our troopers will fight their advanced fleet-on commandos, such as Commander Leo, they provide parts trusted rain or dangerous battlegrounds. Our troopers were equipped with modified clone trooper helmets that directed their attention forward to avoid distractions in their peripheral vision, which can be dangerous to them at such high speed. But the paratroopers, often referred to as airborne, were specifically trained for airborne operations. While paratroopers were a modified version of the base clone trooper armor that featured a comma and a unique high helmet. Some paratroopers even served as snipers. Both the Latin Marines were among the toughest of the tough on the front lines. Originally known as the 21st Nova Corps or the 4th Sector Army, they were led by General Jed Bundy and Clone Commander Kara into many of the hardest battles of the war. The Latin Marines wore specialized body armor with maroon coloration, designed to keep out air hazards such as snow, airborne fungus, and ash, with a backplate that protected them from light blasting. The Marines were soft-trained to fight in a variety of environments, ground, and in space, making them extremely versatile. They specialized in boarding, capturing enemy starships, as well as planetary assault. But Kara managed tasks to best of his men, who would tolerate nothing less. His signing Marines did not meet such failures. During one battle, Black Marines' weapon systems failed. Nonetheless, they engaged the battle droids in man combat. So medics, like simplified first, were equipped to diagnose and treat wounded soldiers. On Camino, these clones were given specialized equipment, and the Kaminoans instructed them on how to medic treat. So their armor had specialized markings, and they carried medical backpacks. Clone artillery troopers specialized in operating artillery pieces like mortars. So little more has been established. Clone ordnance specialists or bomb squad troopers were essentially the opposite. They specialized in disarmament ordnance. Unfortunately for the keepers, their armor didn't provide any extra explosive protection. In fact, the only difference from space one clone trooper armor was that it featured a more cape. This was likely a high-tech assignment for clones.
Okay.
I can't believe we're saying that.
Let's see. Yeah. Hang on, man. I'll have some company here soon. I've been back and forth on my feet all day, so I'm just taking some time to kind of mentally ground myself in the papers.
Serve primarily as a security police force, over public government buildings, and as prison guards. They also perform duties such as bodyguards for public officials and as urgent shopkeepers were easily distinguishable by their red marks. Armor, riot troopers were common among the force guards. They assisted in controlling crowds at demonstrations, armed with shock batons and riot shields rather than flashlights. Those uniforms served a similar role to shock troopers, serving as a security guard. On their armor was similar to that of Coruscant guards with gray marks instead of red. Lone pilots, as you might guess, piloted various starships like LA-2 gunships, Y-Wings, ARC-170 fighters, and B-9 warriors. Due to having particularly good reflexes and spatial awareness, future clone pilots were spotted early and brought up to pilot training. Clone pilots were treated with sets of armor as the work progressed. Special ops clone troopers were trained for stealth, trained to move more quickly and quietly, and detect enemies at a distance, while also wearing things either fed into their defenses. They were known to pilot the experimental stealth ship capable of local clone runners, many of the people mounted weapons, artillery, and starship armament. They wore specialized clone trooper armor throughout their service, which contained for components for articulation, protecting against the recoil sound of the weapons they operated. While comms technicians were responsible for proper communication, making them essential for the army. This is another class which is yet to have much force surrounding it established. But clone engineers were well versed in the range of techniques, from repairing vehicles to performing demolition work. Clone engineers were also charged with constructing outposts in the name of the public. Clone shadow troopers served as a reconnaissance team, the benefit of creating modified and expensive armor could operate covertly and undercover. Using mag seals installed armor, shadow troopers could attach weights to themselves that would pass them off as mercenaries belonging to certain factions. With that advantage, they could defend facilities and gather intelligence with ease. Their armor was black in color with white stripes. The helmet contained a PVE red visor. The overt ops clone troopers were mainly assigned to dirty work that most clones would find questionable and unethical, mainly finding and eliminating clone troopers who disabled guards. This type of clone trooper was one of the most secretive of the guards in the public, as their activities were kept from both public and military records. Clone X from the Bad Batch was likely to Overbot clone. Clone assassins were commissioned by Supreme General Palpatine through a special order during the Clone Wars. The assassins were trained specifically to eliminate Jedi by utilizing their viscosity in form of unarmed combat. Through training used Padawans of the Jedi Order, the clones developed greatly against speed, as well as an aptitude for anticipating strikes and the ability to resist Jedi mind tricks. After Order 6, clone assassins were stationed at the Jedi Temple. Clone jet troopers utilized their limited flight jetpacks to cover great distances and gain aerial advantage over their enemies. The ability of the flying jet trooper gave them hit and allowed them to ambush their enemies from behind. Clone sharpshooters, also referred to as specialists, received additional training in long-range marksmanship. Their ability to hit targets at an extreme distance was far superior to that of branded troopers. However, they were more vulnerable to close quarters engagements. Heavy weapons clone troopers provided infantry with anti-vehicle support through the use of rotary cannon, rockets, and explosives. Clone lancer troopers were clone troopers who specialized in speeder bike combat. They were one of the few clone troopers who had a melee weapon and were only known to have been deployed during one battle. Clone scuba troopers were outfitted for combat in aquatic environments. To survive underwater, they carried a scuba backpack kit that was equipped with a pair of breathing. They also wore fins which could be attached to their boots. This allowed them to survive for extended periods in ocean depths of Montala. Clone flame troopers specialized in the use of flamethrowers as well as other incendiary or specialized armor. Scientists found that they were often in. Their Mark 1 armor was severely flawed, and that it didn't have sufficient respirator filtration smoke, but that was later resolved. The waste troopers were tasked with blazing through enemy lines and clearing accumulated battlefield debris out of the way of the Jones infantry. They were equipped with heavy jetpacks and full wrist-mounted flamethrowers. Waste trooper armor was extremely thick, necessitating to their weapons. Ancient troopers were clone troopers from the last production line, brought online by a group of rebellious clone masters who sought to liberate their home planet of Camino from the rule of the last empire. The empire dispatched the troopers as they squandered Camino uprising. Infected clones had genetic and physical defects as a result of the cloning process, the most famous of which, Clone Force 99 or the Bad Batch, possessed desirable mutations which allowed them to serve the Grand Army of the public during the Clone Wars. Before we close this video out, we have to give honorable mentions to the various clones that fulfilled other roles for the chief they are, as opposed to seek combat action as troopers. This included the clone flight crew, medical officers, various naval officers, and maintenance clones such as 99, of which clones was the variant your favorite, which individual clone you love the most. Let us know down in the comments below.
Huh. Sure.
Okay, guys, this is one of the biggest rival sports that presenting 126 on Navy. The question is, if it's true that the moving these games on campus, yes, that is true. Conference championship is necessary. And where that is women. And what I'm sorry, what's the rest? Please, rival is all about that. Serving to provide for this game is done. I cannot wait to serve that on 200 versus the best in combat. Okay, congratulations on a great season, Captain John. I'd like to open our 2009 so thank you everyone. You're the best team in the world of success. Moving on, I know you lost welcome to traditions, but you're losing. But this year was what? Weekend SmackDown traffic lights and Oh my God.
God.
Yeah. Oh, you had some snacks before your sister got you,
Yeah.
and I got you last week.
Yeah.
Drinking lots of water.
Yeah.
What is old up here? Your sister, give me the old food. I'll take care of it.
Get that a little bit earlier.
The shrimp,
Yeah.
how old is that?
I don't think it's too old.
Shell, how old is this shrimp?
That's the one with
Okay, are you gonna eat that or the sushi?
Oh, nibble on a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
Put the sushi in the fridge?
Yeah.
Okay. What is in that dish?
I don't know. It's old, whatever it is.
Um, so she's taking Albert to this cat cafe tomorrow and you have to make reservations.
Yeah.
You said something about coming tomorrow, so just make reservations now.
Oh.
So, I don't necessarily have to go do that. If you wanna get out of the house, we can start it out. I'll probably drive with separate vehicles. I take mine, 'cause I gotta stop and get a little hot. Then we're gonna have lunch at the place, you know, the sushi place?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna have lunch there. So if I'm gonna pay for lunch, I'm probably not gonna do the cat cafe because I don't wanna.
Okay.
But, I'll just tell them to make reservations for an hour to go to the cat cafe. We'll do that another time.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I don't want that.
Okay.
And then if you decide not to go, there's no reservations. And if you decide to go, then I'll just pay for lunch
Okay.
and we can still get out.
Okay, so we're still getting out tomorrow?
Yeah, I gotta get something done it and I need to go to Kohl's and, get your decent boots off.
I will.
You can wear socks. And you can wear your Crocs and your slippers and stuff, but not them boots.
Okay.
You gotta keep them off of people are throwing the garbage and we're looking for boots for you.
Yeah.
Unless you wanna keep them, wear them. Are they too tight on your feet?
Yeah.
Alright, well, we can get you something different to wear on your feet. But when you're at home, just don't wear them all the time because that bacteria is gonna grow on your feet.
Okay.
And you're almost done with the antibiotics. And that's another thing that's probably making you feel weird all. Good antibiotics.
Yeah.
Yes, and just don't, keep them on, okay?
Okay.
So if you
So-
do-
Yeah. So what'd you say the plan for tomorrow was?
Yeah, we're gonna get out tomorrow. We'll get out some, probably about 11. I'll wait for everyone around to go.
Okay.
Right.
Yep. Thank you, Mom. Yeah, I haven't really got to do much of my papers. I've been up back and forth like crazy ever since I got on here. I'm probably gonna get off for a while and try to clear my head. Stay lifted. Good to see everybody. Fucking love y'all. Cheers, yeah.